The 1956 Canadian 5 cents coin, widely known as the Canadian nickel, is an important circulation coin from the early reign of Queen Elizabeth II, struck by the Royal Canadian Mint during a period when Canada was strengthening its national identity while remaining firmly rooted in the Commonwealth. And this coin reflects both continuity and gradual modernization in Canadian coinage following the end of the King George VI era in 1952. During the mid-1950s, Canada was enjoying economic growth, expanding infrastructure, and increasing consumer activity, making small denomination coins like the 5 cents essential for daily transactions such as postage, public transport, groceries, and school supplies, and as a result, the 1956 issue was produced in large numbers to meet heavy circulation demand. The obverse of the 1956 5-cent coin features the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Mary Gillick, depicting the Queen facing right with a youthful, uncrowned effigy that emphasizes simplicity, dignity, and renewal, symbolizing the beginning of a new Elizabethan era after decades of her father's rule, and the surrounding Latin inscription, Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina, translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, underscoring Canada's constitutional monarchy and its historical relationship with the British Crown. The reverse showcases the iconic beaver, one of Canada's strongest national symbols, representing industry, resilience, and the country's fur trade origins, a design created by renowned artist G. E. Kruger Gray and first introduced in 1937, where the beaver is shown resting on a log in a natural setting, conveying calm strength and a deep connection to Canada's wilderness and natural resources, with the inscriptions Canada, 5 cents, and the date 1956 clearly displayed, making the coin instantly recognizable. In terms of technical specifications, the 1956 Canadian 5-cent coin is composed of 99.9% pure nickel, a metal chosen for its hardness and resistance to wear, giving the coin a long circulation life and a distinctive silver-gray color despite containing no silver, with a weight of approximately 4.54 grams, a diameter of about 21.21 millimeters, and a plain edge, features that made it durable and easy to identify by touch and sound. From a numismatic perspective, the 1956 issue holds significance as part of the earliest Elizabeth II Canadian coinage, preceding later portrait changes and the metal transitions of the 1960s, and although it is not considered a rare date due to high mintage, collector interest remains strong, especially for examples in extremely fine, about uncirculated or mint state condition, where details such as the Queen's hair strands, facial features, and the beaver's fur and tail remain sharply defined with original mint luster intact. Circulated examples are common and affordable, often showing smoothing on high points, while uncirculated pieces are increasingly scarce due to decades of use and melting of older nickel coins, making high-grade specimens more desirable and valuable. Historically, 1956 was a time of global change marked by Cold War tensions and rapid technological advancement, and in Canada, the stability reflected in everyday coinage symbolized confidence in institutions and the economy, with the 5-cent coin serving as a practical and symbolic object carried daily by millions of Canadians. Overall, the 1956 Canada 5 cents Elizabeth II coin stands as a strong example of mid-Canadian minting, combining royal portraiture, national symbolism, and functional design, and today it remains a meaningful collectible that tells the story of Canada's early Elizabethan period, its connection to the monarchy, and the everyday lives of the people who used this durable little coin in an era of growth and transition. Next, top 2. The 1947 Canadian 1-cent coin is a highly interesting and historically important piece of Canadian numismatics, but it is essential to clearly correct a common misunderstanding. This coin does not feature Queen Elizabeth II, because in 1947 Canada was under the reign of King George VI, who was Elizabeth II's father, and therefore all Canadian coins dated 1947 bear the name and portrait of George VI, not Elizabeth II. This penny was struck by the Royal Canadian Mint during the immediate post-Second World War period, a time when Canada was shifting from wartime austerity to peacetime recovery, industrial growth, rising employment, and expanding domestic trade, and the 1-cent denomination played a crucial role in everyday life, being widely used for food purchases, postage, newspapers, school items, and basic household transactions, making it one of the most commonly handled coins in the country. The obverse of the 1947 1-cent coin features the left-facing portrait of King George VI, designed by British engraver T. H. Paget, presenting the king in an uncrowned, dignified style that symbolized stability, responsibility, and continuity after the hardships of war, with the surrounding Latin inscription, George of 6 Dei Gratia Rex, meaning George VI, by the grace of God, King, reinforcing Canada's constitutional monarchy and its loyalty to the crown at that time. The reverse of the coin displays the classic Canadian maple leaves design, originally created by W. H. J. Blakemore in 1937, showing two elegant maple leaves attached to a single twig, a powerful national symbol representing unity, nature, and Canadian identity, with the inscriptions Canada, 1 cent, and the date 1947 clearly visible, making the coin instantly recognizable. In terms of technical specifications, the 1947 Canadian cent is composed of bronze, typically consisting of approximately 98% copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, giving the coin its characteristic reddish-brown color. When new, with a diameter of about 19.05 millimeters, a weight of approximately 3.24 grams, and a plain edge, features that ensure durability and ease of use in circulation. From a numismatic standpoint, the 1947 cent is especially significant because it exists in notable varieties, including the famous 1947 cent, produced in early 1948 after King George VI's royal title changed, where a small dot appears after the date to indicate continued authority under revised titles, making that variety one of the most sought-after and valuable coins in Canadian numismatics, while the regular 1947 issue, without a dot, is more common but still historically important. Condition plays a major role in value, as heavily circulated examples often show were on the king's portrait and smoothing of the maple leaves, while coins in extremely fine, about uncirculated, or mint state condition, especially those with original red or red-brown copper color, are increasingly scarce and highly desirable. Among collectors, historically 1947 was a year of transition for Canada, marked by post-war rebuilding, growing independence on the global stage, and social change, and the 1-cent coin served as a humble yet powerful symbol of economic normalcy and national resilience, passing through millions of hands during a time when every penny truly mattered. Overall, the Canada 1-cent 1947 coin stands as a meaningful artifact of post-war Canadian history, representing the reign of King George VI, the strength of national symbols like the maple leaf, and the everyday economic realities of mid-Canada. And while Queen Elizabeth II would later appear on Canadian coins starting in 1953, the 1947 1-cent piece remains a cornerstone for collectors seeking to understand Canada's monetary, political, and historical transition from war to peace. Next, top 3. The 1978 Canadian 5 cents coin is a well-known circulation issue from the mature reign of Queen Elizabeth II, struck by the Royal Canadian Mint during a period when Canada was navigating economic change, inflation, and modernization while maintaining strong national traditions, and the 5-cent denomination continued to play a central role in everyday transactions such as food purchases, postage, public transport, and small retail exchanges, making it one of the most frequently handled coins of the era. The obverse of the 1978 5-cent coin features the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, which had been introduced in 1965 and shows the Queen facing right wearing a tiara and a more mature, confident expression compared to her earlier youthful effigy, symbolizing stability, experience, and continuity in the monarchy. And the surrounding Latin inscription, Elizabeth II Dei Regina, translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, reaffirming Canada's constitutional monarchy. The reverse proudly displays the iconic beaver design by G. E. Kruger Gray, a long-standing national symbol representing hard work, determination, and Canada's historical roots in the fur trade, with the beaver shown resting on a log in a natural setting, and the inscriptions Canada, 5 cents, and the date 1978 clearly visible, continuing a design tradition that had become instantly recognizable both domestically and internationally. In terms of composition and specifications, the 1978 Canadian 5-cent coin is made of pure nickel, 99.9%, which gives it a durable structure, corrosion resistance, and a distinctive silver-gray color, with a weight of approximately 4.54 grams. a diameter of about 21.21 millimeters, and a plain edge. Characteristics that ensured long circulation life at a time when metal prices and minting costs were becoming increasingly important considerations for governments. From a numismatic perspective, the 1978 issue is considered a common date due to large mintage levels, yet it remains collectible as part of date sets, Elizabeth II portrait type collections, and examples of late 20th century Canadian circulation coinage. And while circulated examples are plentiful and typically hold modest value, coins preserved in uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated condition with strong luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp detail on the Queen's portrait and the beaver's fur are increasingly sought after by collectors. Historically, 1978 was a period marked by economic challenges such as inflation and energy concerns, and the continued production of traditional coin designs like the 5-cent beaver nickel reflected a desire for continuity and familiarity amid change. Serving as a small but meaningful symbol of national stability carried daily by Canadians from all walks of life. Overall, the Canada 5 cents 1978 Elizabeth II coin represents a blend of tradition and modernity, combining a long-established national reverse design with a mature royal portrait, and today it stands as a practical historical artifact that tells the story of Canada's economy, monarchy, and everyday life in the late 1970s, making it a valued piece for collectors, historians, and enthusiasts of Commonwealth coinage. Next, top 4. The 1981 Canadian 1-cent coin, commonly known as the Canadian penny, is a significant circulation issue from the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, struck by the Royal Canadian Mint during a period when Canada was experiencing economic adjustment, inflationary pressures, and gradual modernization while maintaining long-standing monetary traditions. And despite its small face value, the 1-cent coin remained essential in everyday transactions such as grocery pricing, sales tax calculations, school purchases, and postal services, ensuring its widespread daily use across the country. The obverse of the 1981 cent features the second definitive portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Mackin, showing the Queen facing right wearing a tiara with a calm, confident, and mature expression that reflected her long-established reign and Canada's continued constitutional ties to the monarchy. Surrounded by the Latin inscription, Elizabeth II DG Regina, meaning Elizabeth II by the grace of God, Queen. The reverse displays the classic maple leaves design, created by G. E. Kruger Gray and first introduced on Canadian cents in 1937, showing 2 maple leaves on a single twig, a powerful and enduring national symbol representing unity, nature, and Canadian identity, with the inscriptions Canada, 1 cent, and the date 1981 clearly shown, maintaining continuity with decades of earlier Canadian penny designs. In terms of composition and physical characteristics, the 1981 Canadian 1-cent coin is made of bronze, typically consisting of approximately 98% copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, giving the coin its familiar reddish-brown color when new and darker tones as it aged in circulation. With a weight of about 3.24 grams, a diameter of approximately 19.05 millimeters, and a plain edge, specifications that had remained largely unchanged for many years before later metal composition changes in the 1990s. From a numismatic standpoint, the 1981 cent is considered a common circulation issue due to high mintage levels, yet it remains collectible as part of date sets, Elizabeth II portrait collections, and pre-1982 copper cent groupings, especially since later years saw gradual changes in composition and eventual discontinuation of the 1-cent coin in 2012, making earlier copper issues historically meaningful. Circulated examples are abundant and typically hold modest value, while coins in uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated condition with original red or red-brown copper color, sharp maple leaf detail, and minimal surface marks are increasingly desirable to collectors, particularly as fewer high-quality examples survive due to corrosion, oxidation, and decades of handling. Historically, 1981 was a time of economic challenge and transition in Canada, marked by high interest rates and inflation, and the continued use of the 1-cent coin symbolized monetary stability and familiarity during uncertain times, serving as a small but constant presence in daily Canadian life. Overall, the Canada 1-cent 1981 Elizabeth II coin stands as a modest yet meaningful artifact of late Canadian history, combining royal portraiture, national symbolism, and practical design. And today it is appreciated by collectors and historians alike as a reminder of an era when even the smallest denomination played an important role in Canada's economy and everyday transactions. Next top 5. The 1984 Canadian 1-cent coin, commonly referred to as the Canadian penny, is a representative circulation issue from the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, produced by the Royal Canadian Mint during a decade marked by economic adjustment, technological change, and evolving public attitudes towards small denomination coinage. Yet at the time, the 1-cent coin remained an essential part of daily life in Canada, being widely used in retail pricing, sales tax calculations, vending machines, charitable donations, and everyday cash transactions. The obverse of the 1984 cent features the Arnold Machin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, which had been used on Canadian coinage since 1965 and depicts the Queen facing right wearing a tiara, presenting a calm, mature, and dignified appearance that reflected her long-established reign and Canada's continued connection to the constitutional monarchy. Surrounded by the Latin legend, Elizabeth II DG Regina, meaning Elizabeth II by the grace of God, Queen. The reverse displays the familiar maple leaves design, a powerful national symbol created by G. E. Kruger Gray and first introduced in 1937, showing two maple leaves attached to a single twig, representing unity, nature, and Canadian identity, accompanied by the inscriptions Canada, 1 cent, and the date 1984, maintaining continuity with decades of earlier penny designs that were instantly recognizable to Canadians. In terms of composition and physical specifications, the 1984 Canadian 1-cent coin is made of bronze, typically consisting of approximately 98% copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, giving it a reddish-brown appearance when new that often darkened with circulation. With a weight of about 3.24 grams, a diameter of approximately 19.05 millimeters, and a plain edge. Specifications that remained consistent until later composition changes in the 1990s. From a numismatic perspective, the 1984 cent is considered a common date due to large mintage numbers. Yet it remains collectible as part of date and type sets, Elizabeth II portrait collections, and pre-1985 copper cent groups, especially as interest has grown following the eventual withdrawal of the Canadian 1-cent coin from circulation in 2012, which increased historical appreciation for earlier issues. Circulated examples are widely available and usually hold modest value, while coins preserved in uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated condition with strong original copper color, sharp maple leaf detail, and minimal surface marks are increasingly sought after by collectors, as copper cents are particularly vulnerable to wear, corrosion, and environmental damage. Historically, 1984 was a year of political and economic significance in Canada, marked by change and renewed national focus, and the continued production of the penny reflected stability and tradition in everyday monetary life, serving as a small but familiar object carried by millions of Canadians. Overall, the Canada 1 cent 1984 Elizabeth II coin stands as a modest yet meaningful artifact of late 20th century Canadian history, combining royal portraiture, enduring national symbolism, and practical design, and today it is valued by collectors and historians as a reminder of an era when even the smallest denomination played a visible role in Canada's economy and daily transactions.